doing a little spring cleaning, and in the process organizing some things, getting rid of some old stuff, and decided I need to tackle a project I've been wanting to do for a while. It's a hammer rack, and it's just a simple rack to hold all my hand hammers for forging. Got a lot of different kinds of hammers, and just trying to think of a simple and inexpensive design, also something that I could do with my son because he likes to be involved. So let me show you what I got going on. My hammers, and they're kind of somewhat arranged by weight. The heaviest ones on the bottom, and the lighter ones in the middle and top. And I want to make a rack that's probably roughly 48 inches wide with maybe 2 or 3 rows, and that's lightweight and doesn't take up a lot of floor space. So with that being said, I'm gonna try to go to the drawing board and see what I can come up with as far as design ideas. Okay, so here's the general idea. We got 2 legs, and then what I was planning to do is at about a 30-degree angle run some runners from side to side that are spaced out wide enough for the hammer handles to slip through. And I've measured out my hammer widths, and on the smaller hammers it's about 1.5 inches is normal, and on the larger hammers it's about 2 inches wide. So I'm gonna put them at about a 30-degree angle. I think I'm gonna try that out and see what it actually ends up being, and we'll see how it turns out. But the length right now is 47.5 inches. I just cut an 8 foot in half, and then we just put these little legs on them that are maybe 14 to 16 inches, something like that. I'm not a carpenter, but trying to make this work and try not to take up a ridiculous amount of space in the process. So this is what we've kind of come up with so far. That's a 30-degree angle, and we only put 1 screw at each, but we're gonna do double screws on the ends, and that should work. It's flat across, and they're just slightly offset, and I think that's gonna make for a pretty well organized rack. I'll probably do at least maybe 3 rows, but I'd like to do 4, or however many I can fit in there, so we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so this is what I ended up making. The easiest thing I could come up with to make the angle I wanted and to hold this thing together was to make these little trays, and they are 24 inches wide and or 24 inches long, and there's a 2-inch gap for my larger and medium-sized handles, and all I'm doing is sitting them between the rails, tilting them at 30 degrees, and basically setting them flush right with the step above them so the handles can pass straight through, and that's as close as I can get them. You can see on this step up, they're right lined up with each other, so the handles can pass through, and I'm making advantage of every bit of the length I have. Okay, there is the full rack. And it's pretty simple. All 2x4s, all cut 8-footers, like cut in half or cut in fourths. So we got a 48-inch, 47.5-inch height. These are 24 inches wide, 2-inch. It's an 1.5-inch gap on the top, and then the rest of the way down it's 2-inch gaps. So I can just use my smallest hammers in the top row. We're at a 30-degree angle, and that's pretty much it. It was tricky, and it's not the most beautiful thing I've ever made in my life, but it will serve its purpose, and I think if I have to build one again, it'll be a little bit smoother process. But hopefully this gives you an idea. I just didn't see the purpose in spending money on materials to build something like this. Rebar, angle iron, all thread, all that stuff's expensive, and I didn't even really want to weld anything because at this time I really don't have a good welding setup, so this will have to work. So anyway, thanks for watching.